So for today's video, I'll be doing a tier list for all godlies in AnimeLastStand as of the Frieren update. I'll just quickly be going over each unit in game and explain my placements. So I hope this does end up helping you guys out and enjoy. Alright, so I do already have to say now the first unit we have on the list is sadly Theo. He is still the worst godly in the game. In my last godly tier list like 2 or 3 months ago, he was also the worst. He has not changed a bit. I feel like they gotta like buff him or something again. He's still just a support. If we go on the list here, he is gonna be the D tier, the lowest tier on the list. And I can already say he's the only one in D tier, so it's kind of sad. Such a cool like unit, like Theo over Heaven after, you know, AA added him. He was just such a cool unit in like the tower defense genre. And in this game, he has just, I mean, on release he was good, but since then he has just been buns, even after his buffs and stuff. But yeah, he's just a support now, so we're gonna upgrade him. I know I do only have Overlord and no enchant, but like I'm trying to roll Glitched and Glorious on my Ichigo right now, so I don't really have the resources to be rolling on this unit that I'm never really gonna use anyways. And the thing is, we have 3 other light godlies that are better than him. He's not even top 3 in just the light element of godlies. So yeah, there's just no use to this guy besides the bit of support he has. He is like one of the best support godlies, like support wise, but then again, you probably just want like more damage compared to this. I mean, you can time stop for 60 seconds, and then you can also deal 10 times this unit's current damage, which is already like nothing to all units in range, and time stop for 15 seconds. You know, this ability is not bad. It's like a constant time stop, but like we do have Gojo, who is just better as a support and for time stopping and stuff. So I don't really have much to say about this unit. He's just still the worst godly by far, and I think everyone can agree with that. So for our next unit here, we have Eseno, and Eseno is a tier above Theo, but still is the second worst godly in my opinion. Now this guy is the first ever godly that got added, but he did get buffed a couple of times, and he was decent again at one point, but then I don't know, with all these new godlies, as you can see here, like any of these are just miles better than him, I'm gonna be honest. And again, there's the thing, you can only equip 2 of the same, and also there's the thing that you can only equip 2 godlies on your team at once, and there's already 2 other fire godlies that are better than him. Sukuna and Shinro are both fire, and they're just better than him. So there's really no point in running Eseno at all, even for your fire teams. There's just 2 other ones that are better, but he is still a decent unit. Like he does get like a self buff at the end and full AoE, which is of course good. He gets full AoE kind of early actually. Only takes like 130k to get to it. And Sunburn is also like really good. Sunburn is a crazy debuff. But then again, like look at this DPS. I know Sunburn is really strong, but I don't know. He does even have Avatar, and then of efficiency is just because when I used to use him, it was kind of nice that he was cheaper because he's a bit expensive to place and stuff. And here he just buffs himself, gives himself 2 other dots and 100% more damage, I think. Yeah, and then yeah, just buffing himself, pretty cool. Decent unit, nothing insane anymore. I guess he does buff flame type dots, so if you're running a burn team, I guess you can use him as your leader. I also did forget to mention Theo's leader skill, but it basically just buffs debuffs towards the enemies. But let's kind of skip over these mid godlies and get to the good ones pretty fast. So for Garo, I'm not even gonna waste y'all's time. I had this guy in my last video, and I will show a screenshot of him at max. He's really not that crazy of a DPS. He can copy your strongest unit, and at that point, I mean, he's always gonna be semi-meta, but his base DPS is just not really it. And the main reason people use this unit is because of his leader skill. I haven't gotten this unit yet. I've been wanting to get it for so long, but it's just the only reason you really use this unit is for the leader skill. And every 5th attack increase crit damage and crit chance of all units in range by 50% for 50 seconds or 15 seconds. And that with a good SPA can almost like have that going constantly, which is so good. this is one of the best, if arguably the best leader skill in the game, which is like the thing that makes him meta, but it's just his base is just not really it. So as a godly, he's not that insane, and I think I'll have to put him in B tier for that. I don't really want to waste y'all's time and show me getting someone to showcase the unit for me again in this video and doing all that, so I'm gonna just put him here, and hopefully you guys are okay with that in B tier. Alright, so for our other unit here, we got Wukong, and Wukong is a really good unit. I love this unit, dude. Like, this was the first unit that I went for like glorious on, because when I returned to the game, this dude was like one of the best godlies, and he still is great, but it's just with all the recent godly buffs and new godlies that have come out, he's kind of fallen off. In my last godly tier list, I had him in S tier, and I was kind of like, it kind of felt weird for me to put him here, because I feel like he's such a good unit, but it's just compared to these, he's not really competing anymore. He is also the only nature, or well, now Frieren is here, but he was the only nature godly, and he's still a good unit as I said, but it's just, I even checked the ALS tier list, and I even checked the tier list from the wiki people, and they even seem to think that this guy is around like towards the middle bottom now of godlies, which I mean, I feel like that just confirmed what I was feeling. So yeah, this guy is, his full AoE cripple is so good. I love the full AoE cripple, and he gets full AoE so fast. He has his clones that give him more DPS, but you have to max him for him to get this ability where he can get these new passives, and when he does that, he can get even more clones. He does more DPS and stuff. Like, bro, look at this, so many clones. Oh my god, still a great unit, and I would recommend getting him still. Like, he's probably the easiest godly to get. I'm not gonna lie, he's really easy. So yeah, go get this guy if you haven't already, of course. And let's just move on to the other B tier. Now for our next unit, dude, this might be my hot take of this video, the thing that everyone is probably gonna disagree a little with, but I have Luffy, and Luffy for me is gonna be, dude, you can put him at A tier. I wouldn't really mind. I'm gonna put him in B tier because I feel like there was just like, he's not better than most of these. And the thing is, again, you can only have 2 godlies equipped, and there are other 2 light godlies that are better in my opinion. So I don't really know when you would ever use this guy. He's an insane unit, don't get me wrong, but like, in my opinion, Gilgamesh is better, and Ichigo is more debatable, but I do also think Ichigo has more use than Luffy. Maybe Luffy for infinite compared to Ichigo, but like, how often do you really do infinite in this game? So I'm gonna put Luffy in B tier. If you want to put him A tier, I don't blame you. I mean, I could also do that, but I'm just gonna rank it over like off of overall use, and overall use, I feel like he is just a B tier. So yeah, he is gonna go here. He is gonna go at the top, and maybe I'll move him to the bottom of A when we get there. I'm not sure. For now, he's gonna be top B, and yeah, I mean, he got a buff like recently, and he's like a really good unit now. He gets full AoE pretty quickly. He does lose it later on, but he does get it already at upgrade 7, and he does have this little like random thing here. He has his sleep mode. I really don't like units that stun themselves, like Eseno and Luffy stun themselves after a while, which I just really don't like, but yeah, they do that. And then he also just has a bunch of crit passives, and then a daze that can stun bosses. So pretty decent like passives, actually really good passives, but it's still like random. So yeah, he should get some ability here, yup, at max. And this is a nuke and a self buff on top of the already crazy damage. So his nuke is actually really good, 500 billion plus 75% of his total damage. He's gonna do a lot of total damage, and you get a double tune force, which means you're gonna apply 2 of these. I'm pretty sure you can also apply 2 of the same ones, but like, yeah, he has insane DPS. Sadly, he loses the full AoE, which is, yeah, really sad. And this was also one of the first godlies that I got like avatar glorious on. I think it was like my second ever. I got this Luffy all the way back when he first released, and he was good. The buff definitely made him so much better, but he's still just a B tier in my opinion. Definitely more viable now, but yeah, I'm gonna put him here, and let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, also quickly, his leader skill was one of my favorites. It's units get slowed by 15% and take 5% more damage, unlike the whole map. And I'm pretty pretty sure it also stacks with like if you have teammates in your game, so they also get, well, of course the slow works, but I'm pretty sure the 5% damage also does. So if someone just brings Luffy as leader and everyone else brings something else, that's actually pretty good. So I think it's time for our first A tier unit, and I'm gonna put Sukuna up here. Sukuna is a great unit, I gotta say. I think his like mini nuke is just so OP. So let's go to the tier list here, and he's probably gonna be at the bottom of A. Like as a unit itself, you can say that Luffy is better, but it's just that he's not a top 2 light godly. So when are you ever gonna use Luffy again? If you wanna put Luffy above Sukuna, it's whatever. I mean, I don't really see the logic in that, but I can kind of understand it because the unit itself is probably better. But let's upgrade here, and yeah, he's full AoE on placement, which is so good. And just in 2 upgrades, you have like pretty crazy range with the full AoE. So he is really good for starting off, and then he does lose it, but he gains plasma. And he has this, oh dude, like his new passives are really weird. So he has these power. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that. Last time I did, I got made fun of, so I'm not doing that, bro. But you know what I mean. They kind of count up every time this comes down. Now he's on the 2nd level, and in 20 seconds he might go up to the 3rd level. And also there's Shred, which is like the mini nuke he does, which I love. I love these mini nukes on units. I think they're so good. And he goes into a cone here. Let's just keep upgrading. Divine Flames, and if you're on the 4th level, you get like a twice as strong nuke, which is pretty cool. And then he also has the Shrine, which is another nuke. And then if we can get up to 4, he should get his 3rd nuke. Oh, we got up to it. Nice. World Slash. World Slash is probably one of the strongest nukes in the game now, I think. Just a crazy unit. So many nukes, bro. So many nukes. His little mini nuke that pops off every 80 seconds, but there's 3 times speed, so it's less. It's every 27 seconds in real time. Yeah, just an insane unit. I don't know. Do I have his skill tree done? I feel like he should have more crit chance. I might have to do that. I thought I had the skill tree done, but maybe I haven't used him since they changed the skill tree. But yeah, that's gonna be our first A tier, and yeah, really pretty, like his DPS doesn't look insane, but with 3 nukes, his mini nuke, and to dismantle, which is one of the strongest debuffs there is, or dots, he's crazy. Let's move on to the next A tier though. So for our next unit in A tier, we have Goku, and Goku is one of the best, if not the best boss killer in the game, is what I meant to say. He also does give more damage to your whole team towards bosses. So for something like the Gilgamesh Godly Trial, you know that stage where the Gilgamesh boss has 2 trillion HP, he was like a must-have at like when it released. Also, it says he's a celestial right now, but I think that's just because of the skin. He is a godly, as you can see down here. And I'm gonna be putting him above Sukuna. I feel like he has a little more use than Sukuna, and he's gonna be our 2nd to last A tier. I think everyone besides our next A tier just deserves to be an S tier. So yeah, I mean, Goku is still like, towards bosses, he's the best godly because he does more damage the more HP they have. And of course, his leader skill buffs boss damage. And when the strongest enemy, which is gonna be the boss, he does like, is in his AoE, he does more damage, and the boss just always takes 10% more damage if they're in his range. Now this one where you have to lose stocks for missing health is kind of pointless. I don't really know about that one, but yeah, dude, he also has the ability, if we start upgrading him, he has the ability where he can kind of buff himself if you just stun him for a few games, or not games, waves. You have to stun him for like 10 waves, I think. Yeah, 10 waves, and then he gains a 30% damage boost, which is pretty decent. And he has a really strong nuke where you basically have to like spam click, and yeah, it just really strong. And holy, look at this damage. I know it's only like buffed right now because of the nuke, but yeah, this is like the best boss killer in the game probably. And for any boss team, you basically need Goku. I don't know if you need him for the Gilgamesh trial anymore. I think that was just when it first released. You kind of needed Goku for the 2 trillion boss health, but units are so OP. Like, units have gotten so much better in like the 2 months since Gilgamesh came out that you probably don't even need Goku for that anymore. I feel like A is a pretty deserved tier for him. Really good unit, and I would say it's worth to try and get glitched on this guy. So for our last A tier, we have the unit that used to be the best in the entire game by far. Shinro was so good on release, and he's still a good unit, but he has of course fallen off a bit, and I think I'll be putting him in top of A tier. If you have Goku above him, I low-key wouldn't be mad at that. But that is going to be our last A tier, and I think you can see the last 5 units and understand why they are in S tier. I feel like they are just a little bit above this Shinro unit. Shinro is still great. Sadly, he is not hybrid on placement, which I don't really like because I have to place Meliodas in the back for the flyers. But he does get full AoE, like decently quick, kind of quick. And when he does get full AoE, he is also hybrid. Really good damage here for the full AoE. And of course, he has all the different element forms. So this, I'm not going to show all 5 because that would take up like the whole video. But we're just going to show the neutral here because that is usually the one I end up with when I use him. And yeah, I mean, dude, look at this SPA with this damage. I know it may not look insane, but he just has all those different forms. And I just have to say this guy is probably the best fire godly in the game. He also has a really strong nuke that even does percentage based damage, which is really good. And it TPs units back plus the 1.5 trillion. I don't really have too much to say about him, just that he is our last A tier and probably the best fire godly in the game. Maybe you can put Sukuna above him. I don't know. I feel like he's here. If you want to put Goku or Sukuna above him, I feel like they're like really interchangeable, these guys, and maybe even Luffy up here. But yeah, we're gonna go to the next unit, which is, but yeah, let's just move on to our next unit. So I took a little break here between recording the first part of the tier list and then the S tiers now, and I'm not gonna lie, now that I have edited my video and seen some different stuff from the units, I think I might move Luffy up and Shinra down a bit. I feel like also Garo above Wukong. I feel like this is better, right? Luffy is just, he's so good. It's just that he isn't top 2 light. It kind of ruins it for me, but he's just really strong late game. I feel like this is better. Maybe Sukuna above Goku like this. Garo could also be higher, but I feel like it's just his leader skill that kind of carries him. But let's get into Sanjin now, who recently got a rework, and I have not used him since the rework. So right now he does have C minus SPA because that's what you wanted before. You wanted C minus for his dot that he had. I don't know if he has any dot anymore. I don't see any right now, but I might have to spin that. He does have really low SPA now. I don't remember it being that low before. I have seen like some quick little showcases of this, and I know he has like a system here. Right now I'm level 25 and I can basically just choose what to upgrade here. I don't know what the smartest is, but I'm gonna put the ones I have into strength, and I guess the rest into maybe some mana and some range. I'm pretty sure I can rebuff already, right? Yeah, okay, I can. And then I have to rebuff like 3 times until I get to the last thing. So that's gonna take a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's 3 rebuffs, so I have to do it. Yeah, okay. I have to reach 50 now, and then 75, and then 100. And then he gets all these different passives. So the first passive he got from our first rebuff is him basically summoning the ones he kills. He is summoning so much. Holy moly. God damn, he is summoning a lot. And he also has this little mini nuke type thing. Not really a nuke, it doesn't do much damage, but it's more of a support nuke, if that even makes sense. Like a support passive ability that's just always going off every 17 seconds. That applies better fear, makes enemies take more damage, and can also apply Mutilate, which is the thing he had before. But let's upgrade a little here. Okay, his SPA goes up to 2 now. Hopefully he gets Mutilate later. Let's see if we can maybe, okay, we just put it all into strength again, and then I guess maybe some SPA this time. I'm not gonna lie though, like this unit might be crazy, but having to do this like every game is kind of annoying. I mean, I at least find that a little annoying, but let's keep upgrading Shadow Index. This is where I can start summoning these guys, and they basically drain my mana here. I have 400, so that is why you probably want to upgrade the mana a good bit, so you can have your summons up for longer, because they spawn like around you, kind of like before. So if we do like the Ant King here, he spawns here, and he actually does good damage now, and you don't have to upgrade him. It's just every attack he takes mana. Dude, like he is taking a good bit of mana, I gotta say. What if we, can I like activate to, okay, I can't remove him. Let's get the Shadow General, I guess, maybe. Apply Conquered, ooh. And this one copies Dot. Okay, so these shadows are actually really good now. Let's keep upgrading him though. I'm also quickly gonna use all my skill points here because when we use them, we can rebuff again. And now we're at the last level. And let's just upgrade him here 400 million every 3 seconds. Instantly kill all enemies on the map. Time stop all enemies for 60 seconds. Destroy this unit, set cash to 0. Okay. Damn, bro. That nuke is definitely gonna be meta for the tournament. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if this is how you use him, but I'm just gonna put all the points into damage that I can. And then maybe we can lower his SPA a little. But yeah, this is his max damage with like his passive done. And yeah, that is like about it. I mean, you can, let's go ahead and see if we can just summon all of these at once. It's gonna drain his mana bar pretty fast, I can see. Actually, not that fast. And you can have all 5 down at once. Like, yeah, this unit is just has insane DPS now, and I definitely gotta roll the stat now because there's no reason for me to, like, he has no dot. I don't have to have C minus SPA now to match the Metaliate. So, I mean, he's definitely S tier, right? If it would let me. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he is definitely S tier, and I think he has to be our fast. Now, these are not gonna be in order right now. Like, just because I did him fast does not mean he's gonna be at the bottom of S. So, for our next unit, we have Denji. Now, this unit is crazy. He doesn't have any nukes, but his DPS is just insane. He has the second highest godly DPS, I believe, or the first. It's like either first or second DPS of all godlies. And he's full AoE as well, so I feel like for that reason, you just have to put him in S. And I do want to put him above Sanjin if the thing would let me, you know. There we go. Alright, yeah, this guy, I feel like he's better than Sanjin from what I saw. Maybe Sanjin with the better SPA stat is gonna compete a little more, but Denji just overall his DPS is insane. I feel like you kind of have to put him there. And both are insane, by the way. You should get both. I'm not saying Sanjin Woo is bad just because I'm putting Denji above him. Sanjin Woo is still S tier, but let's upgrade him. Rupture is, I know I've said this a couple times, but one of the best dots in the game. Rupture is insane. He has Despair, which is one of the best debuffs, and he has Dismantle, which is also just insane. Like his dots are just crazy. Plus he does the debuff, and he does also buff himself, his own bleed on top of that from his leader skill. And yeah, I mean, it may not look too crazy, and he's not gonna have a nuke, but his DPS with all this dot is just, it's too good, bro. I feel like everyone knows Denji by now and knows that he's a crazy unit. Let me quickly look up on the DPS chart where he is. Okay, so he is the 4th highest DPS in the game, only under Ichigo, Megumin, who is from the summer event, and then Broly, of course, but Broly has like that infinite passive thing, so I don't really know if I would count him. I would say top 3 DPS. I don't really count Broly as like a real unit on the DPS list. His passives just give him like infinite damage, bro. So yeah, Denji, second highest godly DPS, but his support, I mean, Despair is good, but that's like all the support he has. And like this AoE, bro, he probably has the highest AoE DPS in the game. But yeah, I'm gonna not spend too much time on this unit since he doesn't really have any abilities or anything too special. So let's just move on to the next one. Alright, we're on the next unit here, and before you guys start flaming me, bro, I've been trying so long to get glitched glorious on this unit, so right now I am, yeah, it's not looking too good, bro. Dude, I've spent like over 100 pearls since my last glorious, and I don't even want to try and count the trade rerolls. It's been so long since my last like avatar glitched. But we have Ichigo here, and Ichigo, I think I have to put him above Denji even. I feel like I have to put him like here, and I feel like Denji's, yeah, I feel like Denji should still be above Sanjin Woo. And yeah, this unit is insane for early game, even pretty good late game, but progressive, this is probably the either best or second best godly. And for infinite, he falls a little off, but not too much. The thing about this guy is that he basically buffs himself like pretty quickly, giving himself these passives that like at 25, 50, and 75 mastery, he gets like different stuff. And right now he has pressure, which he gets like pretty fast, which is a crazy debuff. And he also has this ability here that will buff him. So with a real trait and enchant, he's gonna be doing a lot here. And I think you just want to put this on auto, right? I'm pretty sure you do. So we upgrade him a little. He stays cone. I'm pretty sure even the last attack is cone. Yeah, it is. I don't know why they made every single of his attacks cone, but yeah, I mean, the stats are not gonna look good with this trade enchant combo. Dude, I've been trying for so long to get a good like glitched or avatar at least, and then glorious, but it's not really working out for me. So I'm sorry he doesn't look too insane here. But just trust me when I say this is like a top 3 godly right now. I do think he's better than both Denji and Sanjin. But yeah, I mean, let's just move on to the next one, which is probably the unit I've used the most since they came out. Alright, we're on the second to last unit now, Godly Gilgamesh, and this unit has to be my most used unit ever since the Fate update. The Godly one, of course. This guy is just on every team. Like, no matter the element, I'm using this guy. Doesn't matter. He does everything. He's just too good. And Gilgamesh is my favorite character in anime, besides Aizen, so makes sense. I don't know why my tier list keeps bugging out here, but maybe if we... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gotta place Gilgamesh above these guys. He may not do as much DPS as Ichigo, but his support, bro, oh my god. Gilgamesh's support is just different. And as you can see, there's one unit left, but we'll get to them after this. And the reason their support is so crazy, Enkidu, dude, this is basically just 2 units in one. When a boss enemy enters this unit's range, stun the boss for 30 seconds. 60-second cooldown per boss. So they are stunned for 30 seconds. And then just 60 seconds has to pass and they can stun again. After a boss has been in this unit's range for more than 10 seconds, force the boss to walk backwards for 10 seconds. Only happens once per boss though, but still, dude, like, the bosses are never gonna pass you with Enkidu. And that's just Enkidu. I mean, look at all these different things that Gilgamesh can apply. Like, what is this? He can apply Soaked Wind Shear and Accelerate. He can apply Soaked Wind Shear, Accelerate, Pressure. All of those are insane debuffs. And he can apply Stun. There's just so much he does. And yeah, I think we just start upgrading him here. Like, his damage is still pretty good with all these different dots and stuff. Like, he is not a bad unit damage-wise at all. It's just that he has insane support on top of all this damage. And he has the big nuke here, which time stops. And it just does insane damage. Like, 10,000 times his damage. Time stops. And it instantly kills enemies under 35 HP. So I think this nuke might, in most cases, be more useful than Sanjin Wu's, because he doesn't get deleted after, which is really nice. And he does have the mini nuke here that he gets when he reaches 100 charge on the Noble Special, which just applies some different stuff. And yeah, the big nuke I was talking about. So this unit is just crazy. Oh yeah, Enkidu we can also quickly upgrade. They do get a new passive at the end, or ability I mean, which basically just buffs them, her and Gilgamesh, or them and Gilgamesh. Enkidu doesn't really have a gender, so yeah, they both got insane DPS. Like, these two together, almost 2 billion plus all the dot and stuff. It's crazy unit. But let's get to Frieren and see if this replaces Gilgamesh in the best godly. So sadly, I do not have Frieren yet. I would really love to get her for this video, but I have just been kind of busy, and I do want this video out for the people that are looking for what godly to get next. This is our second ever shiny godly, by the way, and she has this passive where she gets buffed the more magic units you have on your team, and every magic unit also gets buffed from her. So her her godly buff is actually pretty good. I do have a little bit of gameplay from her that I recorded myself in the new game mode, but it doesn't really show too much. So I'm gonna just put her abilities on the screen here. It is from Radinal's video, the GOAT, bro. Like, he is just the GOAT of ALS. I'm pretty sure he got someone to showcase it for him like a few hours ago, and yeah, I just don't really have the time right now to be grinding for this and Garu. But I can say that after seeing Frieren, right, she has a nuke, she has a summon that is basically a nuke, and she has some insane support passives, and some people are saying she's better than Gilgamesh. Now, I think personally, I think it's really close between these two. I feel like you could do whatever you want between these two. Like, even, man, I don't know, like Frieren or Gilgamesh, really close. I might end it like this. These two are definitely the two best units in the game though, like 100%. If you have Frieren above Gilgamesh, I understand it. If you have Gilgamesh above her, I also understand that. So I think that is going to be it for this video, and I hope you guys did end up finding this helpful. So thank you guys for watching.